But what did you do with it? Did you buy a farm?
Well, I bought some land. Yes, I did.
I had heard it said that you were very helpful with helping your father.
Well, I did.
You helped him get his mortgage.
Yeah. And build a house.
Oh, that's good.
For
the years from the Derby up until 1934, when you ran for the court clerk, Supreme Court, what did you do during those years?
Well, I worked for...
Spend your money?
Well, yeah, I spent some of it. Don't question about that. Yeah, motor car companies got some of it.
Cars. What kind did you buy?
Oh, for Ford.
Ford.
Oh,
That was me. Didn't have too many competitors, did we?
You know, Ford was there, and between the years after the race and when I ran for the clerk of the Supreme Court's job, I worked on a newspaper over in Fayetteville, Arkansas for several months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were ever a newspaper.
Well, I watched
What paper was that?
Oh, it was Fayetteville Leader, I believe it was. It was a paper that had gone in there, published by an oil man by the name of Scotty Taylor, who was a Navy at Fayetteville and had made a lot of money down in the Seminole oil field, and he thought he'd start a paper and compete with the old established paper, which he wasn't able to.
So
able to bucket. And they closed out.
What did you do? Were you a reporter?
Yeah, allegedly.
When the paper closed, then you went into what?
Well, I did some sales work, and then I worked on some drilling rigs, drill wells, water wells, and even shallow.
Did you get into the oil business?
No, we did drill some wells. I haven't called.
I'm interested in them yourself.
Well, later. No, we had a small interest, but we doing the work so we can pay in some small rigs up in the shallow district around Claremore and drill water wells. Cause
That was needed.
What'd you say?
That was needed everywhere. And did you have any legal training, or did you go back to college or school or anything before you started your race for the Supreme Court?
No, I didn't.
Just started it like you did the Derby, didn't you?
Cold like the Derby, decided that maybe I could win it. The politics wasn't such a bad ticket.
Well, what was it about the clerkship that appealed to you?
Well, I tell you, I principally was looking for a public office, and I'd run for court clerk up in Rogers County, and was defeated by a couple hundred votes. I was running against a fellow that had been in for a long time, and I was principally looking for a job or a public office or a job, if you want to call it that.
Well, in 34, there were a lot of them looking for jobs.
And I just got down the statute and looked over these state offices, and I settled on one where there wasn't too much patronage, because I figured you'd be a buck in a machine or an organization.
Good sentence.
And I had run for the court clerk's job, and I just tried and state.
Tell us about your beginning, your campaign.
Well, I tell you, during the campaign, we were still doing some drilling up there, and I was pretty busy. I was kind of winding, but I only campaigned about 6 or 8 weeks. I mean, we had 2 primaries at that time.
some people think that's the best way to do it.
And I just went around over the state, had some little cheap printing cards and kind of a little old pamphlet. And I just went to where the crowd was and asked them out and told them who I was, what I'm running for. Passed out these cards, and of course, naturally, they
Kick homes.
out. The word got out, or I got it out, because I'd better not put race, and then that brought over the conversation, and I didn't. Campaigning was real easy. I mean, to get to where Page.
Their interest in you was already established. That's good.
And that's for half of the battle running for public office was to get their pitch. All right, that's what I
Well, Ms. Lee, tell us something about your initial year, your first year with the Supreme Court. How old were we then? Let's see, 1907 until 1934. We had about your math's better than mine.
Well, that was about 13, 23, at about 26, 7 years old, state of Oklahoma, I'd say.
That's still young.
You are looking back now.
And who was the Supreme Court justice when you went in? Do you remember?
Well,
Chief Justice?
must see. I believe it was Edward Nard McNeil. And I believe he was a Chief Justice.
Do you remember any of the interesting cases? I know there were lots about contested beaches and all of that as the oil developed. But could you tell us some of the interesting cases in those early years that came up?
Well, now, they were a whole bunch of cases that were thrashed out, long drawn out on this railroad right away when they moved it downtown.
Mm-hmm.
They had a number of battling over the title to the abandoned right away.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
but didn't they contest it even before they finally got it moved out of the city?
well, I don't particularly recall.
Well, that may have just gone right over
It was the battle over the ownership of
the roadway.
who it reverted to.
And I'm not.
Then there's a number of the cases wound up in the U.S. Supreme Court and state court.
Do you remember any particular cases of plane jumping back in the 93s? They said some of those dragged on for years.
No, they were. Oh, yeah, they were definitely.
Well, then everybody had his portion done in
Yeah.
county. Do you remember any of the interesting oil and leaf cases that came up? I remember those that had been given to the Capitol grounds, and then wasn't there a question about the oil rights on the land given for the Capitol building?
Well, they might have been. They could have been a lawsuit on some of it, but they weren't.
On some of the gifts had included the oil, they thought, and others they thought it had been omitted. At that time, it wasn't considered important when the land for the Capitol was given by the citizens. But later, when oil was discovered, it was a different story. And was there a claim or two that came against?
Well, I believe they were, but I don't recall there being any particularly, long drawn out court battles over the mineral rights.
Mm-hmm. I had interviewed one or two people who had donated some of the land, and I remember some of them spoke as though, I don't think I asked a direct question, but some of them spoke as though there had been a question about it, but that they lost the suit. They lost the case on it, and it was retained in the name of the state. Tell us some more about the experiences as a clerk with the various ones on the Chief Justice?
Oh, since the long number of years
Yeah.
that I was there,
How long was it in all?
well, it was from in January 1935 to this past November of 72.
Oh.
I was out 2 years during the World War II.
Well, you served in the war.
Yes, it was continued with that one interruption. I was there continuously, and
Well, what place did you serve in the war?
I was with the 10th Traffic Regulating Group in the Transportation Corps.
Oh, yeah.
And we went to Europe.
You were in for the 4 years.
Yeah.
And you came back and went right back into your old job.
Yes, my wife, in fact, and Governor Kerr had appointed her, and then when I returned, she resigned, and she
Why, think the regular woman to live.
she was the early member of the list. But
He held your job then while you were gone.
needless to say, the court had, during my stay there, though a bit had turned over.
Oh, so
I guess Judge Earl Welch here, who became as near serving the number of years that on the bench that I did as clerk. And but there.
well, would you care to comment, or would you rather not, on the investigation of the Supreme Court that we had just a few years back, comparatively?
Well, but about all I know about it is,
You weren't on the investigating committee.
I wasn't on the investigating committee.
You're sidestepping.
I say about all I know is what I read in the papers and the record.
Roger. Well, the well, of course, was, I suppose, one of the most sensational things that came up with the Supreme Court.
Oh, yes.
It doesn't know about it.
Oh, it definitely, that would naturally follow, but
What?
the court, no, they were really slowed up in their work during that period,
Right.
2 or 3 years or longer, and they still kind of more or less working themselves out of it because they did accumulate a backlog of business.
Let's see, I believe the guy Jackson's name came out okay. Who else was it? So was another one.
Well,
There have been several
several.
that came out okay. The investigation was made by a committee of lawyers, but of legal people.
Well, the federal government kind of got into it through kind of kicks the thing off, and then the legislature they got their investigation going on,
One I was thinking of.
and did impeach one judge.
Well, our state of the rule that seems to me you have part men of great integrity for our Supreme Court.
Overall, you're exactly right.
It seems to me that we have it compared with other young states that were still in their growing pains. It seems to me that we've kept, for the most part, men of great integrity. Did you like the law that made the judges place the plaintiff and then run against his own records?
Well,
With that
oh,
going to work out, we haven't tried it long enough yet to know, but in your opinion, you think
I don't know if it's too much of an improvement. I mean, maybe the the electing of judges, horse and bulldogs aspects, and also the other system. So
The names that might be appointed in case the man is failed, and on the ballot, come through a certain channel, you know.
yeah,
I just wonder if that will develop into more or less of just a party issue.
well, it's principally political. I mean, under this system, really. Except a judge does have to run on his record stand. But if they wasn't a lot of
It would make a tremendous
doubt about it for the people to get their fortune and go in there and vote him out. It just,
so it adds longevity then to his term of service, doesn't it?
yes. Once he's in, he can, if he's doing if he's satisfactory, he's probably got it as long as he lives.
Well, the people that I know have had such high regard for your work. They're in the clerkship. Can you tell us something about what your job really consisted of and what you did?
Well, we kept all the papers of the Supreme Court. All the filings that the lawyers brought in, all the papers kept made a record of their reception on the appearance docket, and then as they'd bring in different motions and different pleadings in the case after it was once on the books, we filed them in the case number, and then we kept a record of all the orders of the Supreme Court. And naturally, our job was to mail out the copies of the orders to registered attorneys. And then we were custodian of the records, checked them out to the court, and checked them out to the lawyers if they were committed to have them. And no, it's just really taking care of all the records.
I mean, it's different to do hard.
4 and 5, sometimes 4 and sometimes.
Kept you all busy.
Yes, particularly in recent years, we've been
Knocking with the docket as full as it can.
on court work too. It's always on the increase.
Well, lately,